We're working on 6 generations right now. If my grandson decides that he wants to farm, then we'll be 6 generations, that 5 that have grown rice. And I know we started, my great-grandfather came into the country from Mississippi or Alabama or somewhere. At that time, all that was timber. And there was a little spur line that ran back in there, and he had 5 sawmills, and he was cutting timber for cross ties for railroads. And so he had like 10 kids, and my grandfather was the oldest. And so my grandfather, as the land was cleared, they began to plant cotton on the land. When my dad got back from the Navy, they had the GI Bill. And the GI Bill would pay you $90 a month to learn a trade. And he took that $90 a month and put in his first rice crop. And from there, I think that was probably 40 acres, and he started buying land. He did pretty well. One year they lost all of it to blackbirds, ate everything, but they persevered. And then Judy and I came on the scene. She agreed to marry me in 1975.
Right.
Okay. May the 10th, 1975. That's when we got married.
That's right.
So she'd never been on the farm before, and it was a really new experience for her, but she probably fits in better than I do. She likes to get out in the yard and do things, and I want to get my job done and get in the air conditioner. But
we truly are a family, so we have the same. When we win, we celebrate together. When something goes wrong, we all feel the pain together. But it's good working on a family farm. I've been here for 23 years, I guess, and seen a lot of things change in the family. Seen a lot of things change, as a farm. But the one thing that stayed the same is that we've all been through it together, and I think that's kind of what makes it unique, is that no matter what happens on the outside, as long as we're unified, as a family, we can get through just about anything.
Great to be part of something that has this many generations. So the things that happen here are based in tradition, but they're also based in decisions that are made now. So it's great to reap the benefits of the work that was done by the people that were here before us, and try to do the best we can with what's been handed down to us today.
It's a big responsibility to keep building on the foundation that was made for us, because we did have a good solid foundation as a family farm, multi-generational farm, so that helps a lot.
you don't eat sake rice. It's not very good. We tried to eat it. It's not very good. The sake rice is a special polishing. They'll take the white rice and they'll mill it and they'll mill it and they'll mill it till half of it is gone, because they only want the center, they say. And the center is pure starch. There are no proteins, no oils, no lipids left in that rice. And so there's nothing to contaminate the taste. The Yamada Nishiki has a very large percentage has a chalky center. So imagine that they're milling this down to the center. They keep milling off the outside, and what they end up with is the chalky center. That chalky center is permeable. They add an enzyme, they cook the rice, then they add an enzyme, and the enzyme is able to penetrate the rice completely. And as that enzyme is changing the starch into sugar, they add that to the vat, they add yeast, and you have simultaneous brewing, I suppose. As the enzyme is changing the starch to sugar, the yeast is turning the sugar to alcohol. And they just keep adding rice until the fermentation stops. And then they squeeze out the liquid, and the liquid is sake. And when you do that, that sake is the highest quality sake and highest price sake. It's called a daiginjo. It's supposed to be, the sake from the Yamada Nishiki is supposed to be like wine, like the French wines, and it's supposed to be served chilled. It's fruity tasting. It's which is really strange since there's only rice and yeast involved. I like the experimentation. Judy will tell you the innovation part. I got a lot of that from my dad, I'm sure, but he got tired of some of my experiments along the way too. But I can't get that. I can't stop thinking about stuff like that.
I don't think he could farm if it weren't for thinking of new things, because he feeds on that, and so I think the other guys do too. I know Shane he's all the time calling me about some idea, and then, like I said, Harrison he's 17 and he's coming up with ideas, and Mark, and Jeremy, they feed on that. Like, how can we move forward? What's the best thing for us? What's the best thing for the land? And they just feed on it. They're not happy unless they're doing something new.
I just know that I couldn't be happy doing the same thing the same way every year if there was a better way to do it. And a lot of times you can't afford to do the better way to do it. You talk about sustainability, but there's also survivability.
Yeah.
And you cannot be sustainable if you don't survive.
Right.
So you have to do just what, you have to ease your way into the sustainability thing more so than what people would think. But the innovation, I can't do something the same old way if I know there's a better way, and then I can afford to do it the better way. It doesn't seem fair, to the people that are working with you or the farm.